block there for you.
Live and on air. Hello, I am Nicholas Skinner with Skinner Games, and you are watching Retro Roleplaying, where we play through whatever the heck it is we feel like doing at the time. It's mostly how it ends up going. I make a schedule and then I ignore it. So tonight we are going to be playing the Star Wars role-playing game, which looks backwards to me. Does it look backwards to anybody else? Yes, because I haven't switched my screen around yet, because I dropped out and I had to come back in. So I'm going to do some stuff real quick in a sec. Oh no, I hit a button that was wrong. Go away. Not you guys, the button. Okay. So, yes, as I was saying, we're going to be playing the Star Wars World. Okay, I really got to switch that around. It's bugging me. Things being backwards and all. I hate that crap. I want this one. I love how, like, often we've used this, and I'm still, like, super confused by how it works, like, at all times. Because I'm just that amazing that I forget stuff. There we go. And now it's normal. Star Wars role-playing game. Okay, so this is not the one that's currently out, for those of you who may be watching. The one that is currently out is run by Fantasy Flight Games. There are 3 versions of the game. Each one focuses on a slightly different section or era of the game in general. There is Edge of the Empire, which focuses on stuff on the Outer Rim, your smugglers and your whatnot, your bounty hunters and crap. And then there is, what is it, the Age of Rebellion, which is the one that's focusing more on the Rebel Alliance. And then there is Force and Destiny, which is all on Jedi and magic weirdness. This, however, was one of the first games that was published. This is actually the 3rd, if you will, release. This is the 2nd edition, as you see, revised and expanded. This one is printed by West End Games. It was the very first Star Wars game that came out in like the 80s. And I think this one was actually in the late 90s is when this one, 96 is when the copyright is on this book. This is actually my very favorite Star Wars game. I've played every single one of them, except for the last ones. I do have the Force and Destiny starter game, though. It's super fancy. It's a lot of fun. However, this game is just freaking amazing. This game is what started all the Star Wars expansion. Again? No, okay. Sorry, I keep freezing and stuff keeps happening, and it's freaking me out. Because this computer is going on its way out. I don't have enough money to buy a new one. Anyway, so that's what started all the expanded universe for Star Wars. Pretty much why we have Star Wars today is because of this game, I believe, and the attention that it grabbed. And this is where Timothy Zahn got his information for his books. The Thrawn trilogy that really got the expanded universe rolling and started and made people fall in love with Star Wars again. And the reason why I wanted to play it is because next month they're going to be releasing episode 8. I almost said 9. Episode 8, which is exciting for Star Wars fans. But this game is awesome and it's a lot of fun. It's no longer in print, unfortunately. However, Fantasy Flight Games will be reprinting the 1st edition of the game as a special promotion, also for the release of The Last Jedi. So you can pick up the actually great game again. Not that their title right now is not a great game, but I'm not a huge fan of the custom dice they make you buy. This one is just straight up D6. That's all you need. You need a 6-sided die to play. You need a crap load of them. 50 would probably be fantastic in your repertoire of dice. Okay, not that many. 10 probably or more, depending on what you want to do and how far you want to go in the game. But we are currently in the last stages of making our characters. So we'll kind of talk about that a little bit. Zach, what was your experience with making a character for the D6 Star Wars game?
Well, I used to play it a fair bit when I was younger. I'm still really rusty. I'm rereading it. Kind of took a while. So I just went with the template from the template collection. Just the cyborg pirate, mostly for ranged combat, a little bit of tech use. Nice character build, all well-rounded. It's a good game. It didn't age super well, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, there's some things that could definitely be slightly streamlined in it. Vehicle combat, for instance, which I will try to avoid like the plague. Because vehicle combat's always messy. And we're for the vast majority of us pretty new. It's also been at least 15 or 20 years since I played this game. So it's...
Is there any vehicle combat well, period?
No. I've never played a game that had really good vehicle combat rules. So if anybody has any suggestions, drop it in the comments below, and I will take a look at it.
Because none has ever done any good at all.
No, Saga Edition of Star Wars, which was the last version that Wizards of the Coast made before they lost the license to Weston Games, did it okay. They made it more like person-to-person combat, but it still wasn't super dynamic. It was kind of boring. I mean, it was better because it didn't bog everything down like combat has a tendency to do, but it still wasn't what I was hoping it would be.
It did run a lot more simply than the WEG stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they could do. I really like White Star, actually, for some of that stuff, but we'll talk about that and probably play it later. It is an OSR game, so it's based off of, Zero Edition D&D, but it's been highly, highly customized by James Spann, and there's a new version of it out, which is great, but we'll talk about that more later, and probably try and port Star Wars into White Star to see how it works, which is what I've been thinking of, so that'll be interesting. Anyway, so what Zach was talking about with templates is in this game, you can do two things to create a character. So for those who haven't played or seen this game before, which is probably the vast majority of people who will watch this eventually, is that you can get a bundle of dice, because this game is a dice pool system. So you have your basic attributes, your dexterity, your perception, whatever else, strength, blah, blah, blah. And you allocate a number of dice to that skill during character creation, and you roll that handful of dice. What if you have 4 dice, 4d6 to roll, which is just annotated as 4d on the game. So you have those 4d to roll and add whatever it is you're adding to be able to do your thing. So if you have a dexterity skill, like I said, a 4, and you're shooting your blaster, and you haven't put any other dice into it, you've got your 4d to roll to shoot your stormtrooper, who has a defense or dodge skill that might be also like 3D. So he's got 3D to roll for his thing, and that's what he's looking at, which is nice. So is this a character template you got going on here, Zach? I think it is. So yeah, there we go. So he's pulled up a character template, and you can see here how everything's kind of allocated here. So we've got the different skills and the different dice codes that are attributed to those, and you can further customize them from there. So a template gives you a number of these to begin with, and then you have a number of dice that they give you, which is 7, to further increase the roll. So if you've read through the book quite a bit, and you're not super old and rusty with the game, you can create a character in like 2 seconds. Like, you just pick a template, drop your 7 die, boom, you're done. It's going to take a little bit more time to get your armor and your blaster and whatever else, but for the most part, character creation is super lickety-split in this game, which is nice. It takes a little bit more time in some D20 games. Some are really good about making that process faster, but in this D6 Western Games system, which you can actually get for free on Drive-Thru RPG and other things like that, you can get not the Star Wars D6 because that would be copywritten, and the holders are Fantasy Flight Games, but they released versions of the D6 game for free that you guys can go out and download if you like the system. So they have a D6 space. They have I don't remember what they call it, D6 Modern or something like that, and a D6 Fantasy game. So it's kind of mildly customized for those particular genres. So you get different weapons, different skills, magic, and some of them not, stuff like that. So D6 Space is really solid if you guys want to pick up and play Star Wars or your own sci-fi games. You can do that as well. So where else are we sitting with the characters, you guys?
I think I'm done.
I'm good to go, I think.
Okay, so Lydia took the long way around, and she chose her 18 dice to throw into a custom character, correct?
I think so.
How are you feeling? You don't need to look at those.
I'm trying to understand it.
Okay, so further in this game, to create your character, you can choose between 100 billion different races because it's Star Wars and they've got crap loads of them, and they'll give you a dice code to give you a maximum and a minimum die that's allowed in whatever particular stat you have. So you can only get as good at something in something, but you can also raise specializations, which is your dexterity skill is just a dex, and everything that would rely on dexterity. Like I said, your blaster firing, your dodging, combat for lightsabers and things like that. They're all based off of dexterity, and they all use the base dice code of, if you're going back to the original example, 4D, and you got 4D. But you can also raise those during character creation to some degree, and then afterwards, as you level up and get dice, get character points to customize your character between adventures, you can raise those above the limit of the die code. So you could have conceivably, a lightsaber combat of 60 while your basic dexterity is 40. So your character can do a lot of things at first, because as you play, you don't get that many character points generally. I mean, you're not getting bucket loads of them. Hopefully, anyway, if you've got a good enough GM and he's just like dumping them on you, so that your character slowly progresses, but they're not like making huge leaps and bounds like some other games that give you a ton of abilities every level. So I sent out an email. Did you guys get it recently?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, cool. So what's also a neat thing about the Star Wars game is how they advise you to kind of incorporate more people into the introduction of the game. Is they advise you to write a small script. So I've done that, and I have emailed it to the party. And let me pull it up here on my phone. Do I have it open? I do have it open. Okay, cool. So if we can have some volunteers to read... Uh-oh. It's a little bit different. Sorry, I was trying to write it on my computer, and my computer is crazy. So there's some like typos in it. Ironic, considering I have a degree in English. Yeah, so when the script actually starts with the Imperial Officer, who would like to read the Imperial Officer? Volunteers. Don't make me volunteer you.
I will read it.
Okay. So who's crewman number 1?
Am I the Imperial Officer?
You are the Imperial Officer.
Okay, then I'm not crewman number 1. Or
No,
crewman
you're
number
not.
Sure.
So Zach's crewman number 1? Okay, crewman number 2.
We're trying to find the scripts.
Where's the script?
It's in the document that I literally just sent this email like not too long ago.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So it starts out with like the opening crawl thing, and then towards the bottom it's got the script. So, crewman number 2.
I will be crewman number 2.
Okay, and Lydia can be crewman number 6, which I know is a huge leap, but I couldn't not make a crewman number 6 because of Galaxy Quest. I'm just crewman number 6. Okay, so we will get started. And normally, when I like to play games, I love to have soundtracks and stuff, and I totally would have done the opening like scroll and music for Star Wars, but YouTube has some massive copyright infringement subtext stuff, and I don't want to deal with that. So we're not having any music, so it's not going to be as dynamic as the music blaring as you're reading the opening crawl. So a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars! We're calling this the Memnos incursion. War has ended. The old Republic that has stood for over 1,000 years has been reorganized into the First Galactic Empire, and its iron fist spreads across the galaxy. However, on the furthest reaches of the Outer Rim, where Imperial presence is easily persuaded to turn its eye, a small, independent courier in the Memnos cluster seeks to evade a hefty fine. Cue Imperial Officer.
YT-1300 freighter, you have yet to register your cargo. Before you land your craft, you must be inspected by Imperial patrols for possible contraband. You will either comply or your ship will be impounded and you will be arrested.
Imperial Customs Officer. This is the captain. We're having some problems keeping a particularly nasty live predator with transferring contain.
Yeah. It's a particularly nasty breed. Has some form of acidic saliva. Ate right through our plasteel cage.
One moment, freighter captain.
We're space dust, man. They're not going to buy it.
Show it. They're discussing it.
Freighter Captain, for a small fee of 700 credits, you may freely land.
Captain, they're warming up their turbo lasers.
Okay, and the scene cuts. Down on the planet's surface. Oh, I sent you guys a map too. What did I do with that? Now I'm all disorganized as I was trying to talk about stuff. I gotta pull up the map, the map.
That map? Or a different map?
I think it's a surface map.
No,
not the star map,
it was
is
the
it?
planet. It is the star map. I don't have a surface map.
Okay.
The cluster?
Memnos cluster, yes.
Yes. Yeah, because I need to know where the heck you are. Okay. You guys are on the planet of Finrai, which is a dual binary system. So, focusing on the planet here in this as I said, binary system, it is far enough away from the double stars that Zach is showing. He's showing the map that I made. Yay, Photoshop. So they are off to the left in the double binaries, or right off to the binary system. I do that all the time. It's really stupid. Left and right. You think by 30s I would understand which ones these are. Anyway, so the planet itself is a far enough away that it sits in an area that it can sustain plant life, not like Tatooine where it's burning up the surface. So it is still a nice and arid planet. And down on the surface in one of these starports, a small crew is loading up their craft with a number of things that they have been asked to take off world. Looks up to see a number of green streaks through the upper atmosphere and something explode. Tim, how does your character react?
To the thing exploding?
Yes.
Whoa!
Are you talk like that the whole time?
Yes.
Nice. So what is your character's name?
Okra Sim Sim.
What?
Why?
No, seriously, say that again. I didn't.
His name is Okra Sim Sim.
Okra Simpson?
Simsim.
But okra like the plant, right? Like the gooey
Yes.
thing? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fitting.
Gross
It's very Star Wars. Nice.
You're just eating it wrong.
Yeah. What are you, a species human? What?
I'm a Duros.
Duros. All right. Okay. Nolan, your character hears this exclamation from your crewmate Okra Simpson.
I'm gonna have so much fun with this.
So, did I see the explosion then?
If you look up quick enough, you will see it, yes.
Yeah, so he exclaims, and then I look at him, and then I look up and see the explosion.
Okay. What is your character's name?
Nils Tursu.
Niels. How do you spell his last name?
Tursu, T-E-R-S-U.
What's your name?
T-R-S-U. What was the first name again?
Nils, N-I-L-S.
N-A-L-S?
I.
N-I-L-S. Okay. Nils Tursu. Okay. Do you say anything to him, or you just look at it?
Just look at it.
Okay. And you were a human.
I am a human court fop.
Human court fop. Okay, so...
like, oh.
I swear I'm just gonna name myself Khajiit if you don't help me.
Yeah. All right. So I assume you are reclining and delegating the work of your crewmate Okra Simpson. You're really quiet for some reason. Yeah, your sound went we all wonky. I don't know. I'm still having a hard time hearing you.
I'm getting nothing.
Yeah, it's like... say it again.
All of a sudden, you say?
Yeah, now it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, that was weird.
Not sure what that was. No, yeah, I would be like, oh, hope it's no one I know.
Awesome. All right, and walking down the ramp to make sure, or to see why the work is taking so long, comes Zach's character. Zach, who are you playing?
I am Dirk Bodega.
Dirk Bodega?
Yeah.
Awesome. These are awesome names. Okay, you were a cyborg, right?
Cyborg pirate, yep.
Yo. Privateer.
Pirate.
Awesome. Okay, so you come tramping down the ramp to see what your other two crewmates are up to.
What the hell are you two stupid bastards doing?
There was an explosion.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was right up there.
Oh, that's fantastic. What the hell do you think is going on?
I don't know, but I hope their parts don't fall on us.
As long as we can sell it.
Nope. I'm getting back in your ship.
Okay, so you walk up the ramp. You go down one of the many hallways that leads up to the bridge, and there, sitting inside the bridge, is the fourth and final member of our party. Lydia, introduce the character you are playing.
I'm playing a Horanzi, and I'm not sure what my name is yet.
It's Star Wars. Drop something on the ground and then describe what it sounds like.
Screw it, my name's Khajiit. Because I basically am a Khajiit.
You're basically a Khajiit, or you are?
I'm a cat person. I don't feel like making up a name.
That's perfectly acceptable. How do you spell Khajiit?
Name generator.
Khajiit.
Kha.
Jiit.
Right. I have to know what you look like now. Oh, Elder Scrolls. Okay, got it. Okay. That works. Okay. So, Dirk, you walk up the ramparts to Khajiit.
So those idiots outside tell me something exploded. Did you see anything?
No, I'm in here.
Nothing. Nothing on sensors. Are they turned off or something?
How high in the atmosphere was this explosion?
They didn't say.
Well, it looked pretty damn high.
Did you want to check the sensors?
I guess I can.
Okay. Well, you can flip a few switches. Oh crap! I don't have my cool D12 down here. Oh well. Well, it's
The one with the least skill.
you can at least look. I mean, you're not doing any advanced scanning. So yeah, you flip the sensors on, and you'll notice that there indeed it confirms the aftermath of an exploded vessel. You also detected an Imperial Customs vessel in the upper atmosphere.
What kind?
That is the kind. It's called an Imperial Customs vessel. Hang on, let me grab the book so you guys can see the picture.
Well, someone just had a rough day.
Yeah. So I really rather like the releases of these books. These books are just fantastic for this game. Each one kind of focuses on particular time periods. I think they did it a little bit better than Wizards of the Coast even did, and they go into some like serious background information. It's far more crunchy on stuff than some of the more modern games are, but not to a boring extent. Anyway, so here's the Imperial Customs Corvette that is hanging out currently in the upper atmosphere. So
it's basically a giant flying tuning fork.
Should we be
More or
worried about
less.
it down here, or should we just keep doing what we're doing?
What are we doing? What are we loading anyway?
You are loading a number of different cargoes. So you have gotten just a bunch of different things. So like mail, just like normal mail. There's some foodstuffs that you're shipping from one, just general courier kind of stuff. If you guys wish to try and do some illicit stuff, we can roleplay a flashback scene to that if we want to do that. And then have you guys try and hide it on your ship and whatnot. But for now, you're a legitimate transport service at the moment.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah. So just basic stuff.
So what's the Imperial presence like in this area? I thought they weren't really around here.
It's not strong. There is one Imperial Customs Corvette that flies around Mimnos in general. There is one Victory class Star Destroyer that everybody is aware of. It doesn't exactly hang out on this planet. It just kind of chills around the system. Yeah, so it's in the cluster, and the cluster is rather large. There's a large number of planets here that are habitable anyway. Obviously, it's galaxies, so there's loads and loads of planets that people don't really live on. But for the ones that were mentioned in the map, it's got, what is that? What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 planets that it's patrolling. So we go back to the map. You'll see that there's also a large junk field that's just a bunch of and what?
A bunch of what?
Broken down spaceships and other things. It's just a big junk field. That's
just a quick question for flavor. What era?
We're in the dark times.
We are, but I mean the junk field. Like what?
Oh, everything. You can find anything in there. So it's, stuff from the Clone Wars and before that, and even recent Imperial stuff. They use it to dump their junk in. So you can find it from anything. If you look hard enough, what? Yeah. It's Space Raxus Prime essentially.
I'm trying to visualize.
Right. So it's like our own asteroid field, but space junk.
Okay.
And it's not just one system; it's like a whole giant field of it throughout an entire section of the galaxy. So it's rather large.
So for this customs Corvette to catch this, whatever they were doing, it's pretty unlucky, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it is pretty unlucky for them. The Imperial presence is focused on one planet, and this is information that everybody would know. It's not just me talking about it. This is all background stuff you guys would know. So it's on New Lupi is where, so it's kind of more central outside the Great Junk Field. Yeah, right there, where Zach is. So it's focused right on there, and there is an Imperial governor, and there is a garrison, but it said there's only really one Victory class Star Destroyer that patrols this whole area, that everybody is aware of. Obviously, they're Imperials; they lie all the time. So who knows? There could be more. Nobody's ever seen more than this Corvette and the Victory class Star Destroyer kicking around. So the area.
Yeah.
What was that?
That these are the ones that it's a matter of public record that they're here,
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So everybody's aware of their presence and knows that these particular things are here. So if there's like a hidden base somewhere or something, nobody knows about it. Which I'm not saying that to confirm that there is one, but just if there were one, nobody was really aware of it right now. There are no rumors being passed around of any stronger Imperial presence. You also know that the Imperials here are highly corrupt, and they're totally willing to accept bribes if you pay them enough money. But they're also pretty lazy and don't want to do a lot of work. So it's just a lot of back and forth between what kind of day you catch them on, more or less. The guys who blew up in the outer atmosphere clearly not doing a good job on caught the Imperials at not a great time. So the Mimnos cluster is relatively small. I mean, still 10 planets is it's still rather large, but as far as the grand scheme of things is concerned, it's really very far out in the outer rim. There isn't a whole lot of other Imperial presence that people are aware about. Piracy is it's kind of a thing, but not super strong with the pirate stuff. Happens periodically. Clearly, since we have a pirate on our crew here. Yeah, piracy, yay! Every planet is kind of its own thing. There is a trade route jump off from the top of the cluster in Killian Prime. It goes to a trade route up there, but everybody just kind of trades within themselves. It's a very, very private kind of sector of space, and people have just been keeping things running from scrapping the Great Junk Field and growing whatever they can on their own planets. So that's pretty much what you guys have been doing. It's how you've been making your living, is by running scrap and from illicit sales periodically of other material that you come across. You're unaware of any specific rebel activity, but the Rebel Alliance is not a thing at the moment, so there is no organized rebellion against the Empire. It's all just little pockets of people, but since there isn't a huge Imperial presence out here, people don't really give a crap. They just kind of do their own thing and hopefully avoid being impounded or any of that kind of stuff. So there's some more major background of what's currently happening in your corner of the galaxy. So each of you are on this crew for your own reasons, whether that's to avoid something, to see more planets in the worlds, to get off of your own crap hole and see what else is going on, to get stuff or see political contacts or things of that sort. Your cargo has been loaded. I didn't exactly have a ship that I wanted you guys to be on specifically, or I would have emailed it all to you. So we're just going to default with the YT-1300 because it's Star Wars West End games and everybody has a YT-1300 transport in this game of some kind or other. Even in like this one, Tramp Freighters, it's all about how to run a campaign that's based on this kind of idea of running freight. And it's actually got a really awesome, which you could actually use universally, system on buying and selling goods to various technologically advanced or unadvanced systems. But even in the back of this book, they've got like 3 or 4 modified YT-1300s to make them look like different. I'm like, that's not a YT-1300. Nope, it is. It's a modified one because you can't escape them in this game. Everybody wants the Millennium Falcon. So we're going to give you one. YT-1300. So now that your cargo is loaded and you have your manifests, what are you guys going to do?
Wait for the Corvette to leave before we try to go, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. You're in a small town. Well, it's not small. It's got a starport in it. but it's not like a booming metropolis. We will call it. Sorry, my week has been busy, or I would have been slightly more prepared. We will call it New Plasia. So you are in New Plasia. As I said, it's a fairly decent sized city, even though I said it was a small town, but not a metropolis. So you've got a number of different dive bars and cantinas. There's some more entertainment. There's some upper scale restaurants, but for the most part, it's kind of a rundown spaceport. And you guys can find your way into entertainment or other trouble. Even though there is a small Imperial presence throughout the entire system in general, every planet does have some sort of Imperial installment. So there are stormtroopers that patrol periodically on every planet, but they are of varying strength and skill. And then there are local militias and things as well. So you will more likely have to deal with a local militia before you'll deal with an Imperial stormtrooper. So what do you want to do in your wait?
How long do they usually patrol?
Sometimes they just skim the upper atmosphere and leave, so a matter of minutes to hours. This one has already hung around slightly longer than you were expecting, having exploded a ship. You think that maybe they're trying to check on other ships as they leave.
Well, then, I mean, we don't really have to leave the ship, then, if it's not going to take that long. Can we get clearance to leave? Or
you can ask for clearance to leave.
I mean, or at least get that part started so we can go once the Corvette's gone.
Right. So who's making the call?
I will. I'm
Okay.
the captain. I'll probably do it. Instead of being a slacker. Can't always delegate.
Okay. So, Dirk, you make your phone call into the control tower, and they respond, "What you want?"
This is the YT something freighter requesting clearance to take off and leave.
You requesting clearance? Alright, give me a sec. What your cargo?
I run down the list quickly, just
Mail, food, supplies, stuff.
Right. They'll send you over a document in which to sign, and when they get it back, they will give you an acceptance to leave. So you get your clearance. The Imperial Corvette is still in the atmosphere. Do you guys still wish to leave, or do you want to hang out until it's actually gone?
So it's loitering in orbit above this town then?
Right.
Does the ship have an intercom or something?
It does. You also have personal communication devices that are tuned into each other.
So just get myself on the intercom. All right, crew. We're going to take a little bit of a sabbatical. Try not to get into any mischief. I'll call y'all back when it's time to go. Once that Imperial ship disappears. If you want to go stop, grab a snack, have a nap, I don't know, taking some hollow beds. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Just get off the ship.
All right, I'll go into town.
Go do something fun, but not too fun.
I'll see if I can find a nice restaurant. That's something I'd do.
Okay. Yeah, you will find a nice upper scale restaurant. It serves food that is popular in the inner core.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. So they have to import fancier ingredients. Some of them aren't as fresh as they ought to be, but for where you're at, it tastes fairly decent. You've eaten here before. Do you have your credits?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of meal do you wish to buy?
I don't know, a good one.
A good one.
Whatever a good dinner would be, I guess.
A good dinner or a great dinner or a fantastic dinner?
A fantastic dinner.
All right. You will be spending 120 credits.
Okay.
On this meal, and
I mean, I'm space for a while, so
right.
That's a serious thriller.
might as well.
How much do you have?
4,000.
1,000.
4,000.
4,000. Oh. Does everybody else have that much? Well, if it was in the thousands, maybe I should have made it $1,000 meal.
Hey, 125 is like, that's dollars. That's still a pretty good steak.
Yeah. Yeah. If it translates to dollars, which it does not. Okay. All right. So you are enjoying your meal and receiving some much welcomed attention from observers around as you eat. What do you look like? Also.
26-year-old, 6'1", 190, fancy clothes.
Do you have the gnarly 70s facial hair, or
I have the mustache, yeah.
the mustache?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That's the big one.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, got the porn stash thing going on. Okay. So you finish your meal and you sit back and you sip your very expensive drink, and a young lady dilettante comes and sits herself at your table and does not introduce herself. She just sits to stare at you.
I just I accept that is normal and keep drinking.
Okay. She will eventually kind of smile and ask you, "What you drinking?"
A Tatooine sunrise.
A Tatooine sunrise. And she'll snap her fingers, and the waiter will bring you over a second.
It's the only Star Wars drink I know.
It's the only Star Wars drink you know. Just make one up. That's all it is.
Yeah, no, that's from Legacy.
Yeah. So yeah, she'll order you a second one and sit and watch you drink it awkwardly. Well, yeah. Who just wants to sit there and watch someone drink it? Super
yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to ask her what. Did you want something other than to gaze upon me?
I just like to watch the way you drink it.
I understand. I have a mirror. I get it.
Nice. And she will chuckle at such a statement. No idea who I am, do you?
Pardon?
You have no idea who I am, do you?
No, none.
This will be an interesting night.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself.
She'll chuckle. Ooh. May I ask your name?
Yes, Bill. You may ask me my name, yes. I tell her. Yes.
Okay. All right. She goes, ooh, Niels, that's an interesting human name. Where do you come from, Niels?
I don't know. What's a good core world?
I don't know, I'm trying to think of one that's not
Chandrilla,
stereotypical.
I guess. I don't know.
What?
Chandrilla?
Chandrilla?
Chandrilla.
Yeah.
I don't think that's technically in the core, but it'll work.
Close.
It's not in the core?
Yeah.
I thought core.
I don't remember anymore. I used to know all that stuff, but girls get involved in your life, and then you start having children, and you don't remember the nerd stuff anymore.
Yeah, Chandrilla was a planet in the core world of the galaxy.
Oh, is it a core? I thought it was just outside. Okay. Well, there you go. See? Good job. You remember nerd stuff before me. I know, your nerd game is stronger than mine now. I used to be able to know. I think I missed, when we played Star Wars Trivial Pursuit back in the day, one question out of the whole box. I can't do that now. That's how awful I was with my nerd knowledge. And now I have, like, no legitimate things. Okay, so she goes, oh, you're from deep within the core.
Yeah.
And you've never heard of me. And she'll order you another drink. And then we will cut back to the other crew members. What?
I'm technically on duty. I can't. So.
Oh, I insist. Okay, and we'll cut back.
Okay.
So, what are the other three doing?
Catnapping.
Yes, I got the.
I'm operating the Jarek table. That's in the lounge.
The Jarek. Okay.
I'm playing myself in a game of the Jarek.
I'm alone. All right, Captain, what are you doing?
Dirk is playing solitaire on the console, watching to see when that ship leaves.
Playing solitaire. Okay.
Fighter solitaire.
Star Wars solitaire. Okay. Then we will go back to Nils and see what he ends up doing. Okay, with your lady of the night so far, she has ordered
that sort of thing.
You don't believe that sort of thing?
I don't pay for that.
You haven't asked her name yet, dude?
He has not.
She invited herself to my table.
She has not introduced
She
herself.
volunteered her own name. That's poor etiquette. I've given her my name. That's more than she deserves.
Okay. Do you imbibe her third offering?
I do not.
Do not. She'll kind of give you a little pouty face. You're ruining my fun tonight. I have another idea. Why don't we visit a casino? You seem to be rather lucky.
It's true. She sure can tell a lot about a person.
Nice.
Did you have one in mind?
I did. There's one who is operated by a friend of mine.
All right. I have quite a bit in gambling, by the way. So
Nice. All right.
this is definitely something my character would do.
Okay, then. Let's open up to skills. And we will go to gambling. We will see what we can see. No, that's not. It's knowledge. Scholar, streetwise, planetary enforcement, tactics, value, willpower, mechanical skills, capital ships, pulsar lifts, perception, command, con, forgery, gambling. There we go. Do you have a specialization in gambling or just gambling in general?
No, gambling, 4D, and gambling. Perception.
Okay.
No, my specialties are all in useless things.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Arcade weapons,
takes-
beast riding, so...
Okay.
If you need to ride a horse, wield a saber, then got you.
Hey, there's a whole section of like the galaxy that's all specializes in that sort of thing. The Tapani sector. There you go. There's a whole book, even like a whole box set for the Tapani sector in this game, where they use scaled down lightsabers to fence each other. So like, it hurts, but it doesn't kill you.
Energy Earth.
Where am I going? Gambling. We were talking about a casino, right? So she leads you outside. It is about.
Is she human?
Early afternoon, we'll say. She appears to be human.
Fair enough.
From what you can see. However, she does have her head covered with it appears to be a fairly silken cloth that she moves about without having touching it. You can tell that it is a well-maintained wardrobe in general. She is brightly dressed in flowy robes. So the vast majority of her figure is covered, and most of her head. But from her hands and her face, she appears to be human. She is also finely adorned in jewels, and when she walks outside, she kind of pulls the head covering she has a little bit further down over her eyes, and puts on some eye protectors, shaded eye protectors, so that she appears to be further incognito. But she will lead you into a casino that is called Flying Solo. Okay. So she will lead you into the casino called Flying Solo, and she will wave to the large Gamorrean who is standing guard outside it, and he'll grunt, and the door will slide open, and she'll lead you inside. It is a typical casino that you would expect to see in Star Wars. There are bright lights flashing everywhere. There are aliens of every kind sitting at various tables playing sabacc and a number of other things. There are virtual tables full of Dejarik and other things with people sitting around them. She will lead you, however, to a card table where there are 3 patrons sitting around. There is a 4th seat open where she leads you to and will use her hands to kind of guide you into the seat, but not really push you down, and kind of put her elbow on the edge of the table, not sitting down, kind of leaning against the edge of it. And she says, "Okay, now play."
What game?
It's just some generic card game.
Okay.
Okay. And you will need to be making most of this game. Now, an aside talking about the system itself, is an opposition is a series of opposed rolls. You do have target numbers essentially that you beat. Also, with very easy, moderate, difficult, very difficult, and heroic levels of skill tests. But a lot of it is, or at least when I played, a lot of it was player against player dynamics, and gambling is definitely player against player. So to use this skill, and I totally just lost my page. Way to go, Nicholas, for being stupid. You roll your skill level, 40 or whatever it was. I think you said it was 40. And roll against you, and we will see who detects whom in their lies.
16.
Ooh. Okay. So we have that one, and that's okie dokie. Assistance. I can only keep reading here. Okay, so what exactly are you attempting to do to cheat?
To cheat?
You're gambling. It's all about cheating.
I wasn't going to cheat. I was just going to play. I mean, I'm gonna use my my excellent ability to lie to make them bet more money than me, and then I win it. Right? I mean, listen, I'm not a real gambler. I don't know. Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna lie to bluff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you said you got what again? 16?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one rolled that one. That one rolled that one. That one rolled that one. Okay. So the opening bet is yours. What do you wish to? How much do you wish to bet?
I don't know. What's the table limit?
The table's limit? There is no limit.
There's no limit.
Nope.
Okay. I don't know. 100, I guess.
All right. So you're starting the bid at 100.
Probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah.
Okay.
Is that a lot? I don't know. Peasant money. So.
Peasant money. Okay. So the next guy will.
Anyway, so.
Yeah, the next guy will take your bet, and he'll raise it by another 100. And the next guy will take that bet and raise it to 400.
Ouch.
And the last guy will take that bet and call it. Okay. So you are confident that you have successfully won the contest here, and when your cards are revealed, you find that you have lost.
Oh, ouch. Well, she's an expensive person to know. Well, that was fun. I'll be seeing you.
She says, "No, sit, I insist," and she'll keep her hand on your shoulder as the cards are dealt again. Says, "Round 2, you start with your bets first," says the dealer.
All right, 10.
Okay, 10. The next player will raise that to 100.
No.
Next player will raise that to 400.
No. Thank you. Hello? Did he cut out again?
Looks like he did.
And the last... Am I back?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, you're back.
Okay. Rolling. Oh, that's a crappy one. All right, Nolan, what'd you roll?
Oh, I don't know. Let's find out. 18.
18?
Yep.
Okay. You will definitely figure out that player 3 is actually lying.
Oh. Did you cut out again?
Did I cut out again?
Oh, you're kind of jumbly, but it's okay. Player 3 is cheating or lying?
Cheating.
Cheating. Can I prove it?
You can prove it.
I will call him on it. Very publicly.
Very publicly. Okay, so you get up from your seat, and your escort will look mildly interested in what you're doing. And you go up and you pull up his sleeve, and you will notice that there is a small microcomputer attached to his wrist that is changing the faces of his cards.
Not cool, homie.
No, it is not, because he says, "Wait, I can explain." And the dealer at the table will snap his fingers, and a big burly
Gamorrean?
No, it wasn't a Gamorrean. It was the other ones from Jabba's palaces. Weequay, there you go. Will come over and grab him, pound his face against the table, and then carry him off into the back room while the guy kicks and screams, "No! No! It's not what it seems!"
So I'm just going to take his chips then?
They will allow it.
Okay.
He had... we'll do this.
Really
5,000 credits worth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's finish this hand anyway, not that the cheater's gone.
Okie dokie. You will also win the hand.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, which was up to 800, so you get another 1,600 credits.
Nice. Well, that was fun. I'm going to head back to the ship. I will see you later, hooded lady.
She will link her arm around yours as you begin to walk out, and she'll talk very excitedly to you. "So, what are you going to buy me on the way to your ship?"
Well, I know there's a Tatooine Sunrise back in the bar that's not drunk yet.
Says, "No, we're not going back to that bar."
I don't know. I guess I'll give her 1,000 credits and say she can buy whatever she likes.
But I think I'm going to go with you.
You'd have to take that up with the boss.
Fair enough, let's go, my beautiful toy.
Boy. I'm a playboy,
Okay.
not a plaything.
You can get rid of this lady.
I'm a playman! Playman!
I'm a playman.
Yeah. Okay. So as you walk back to your ship, what do you want to radio ahead and give your crew a heads up, or
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a heads up.
so the rest of you are sitting in your ship having a cat nap and doing whatever else, and then you hear a tone come out of your personal communicators with the signal of Nils.
Be like, "Hello, everyone. I'm heading back to the ship now, and I have a fare."
He's having a fare, not an affair.
And I'm not having an affair. I have someone who would like to pay a fare for transport.
I don't know if I'll pay, but yes.
She's not taking my bunk.
No one said she would. Anyway, so just tell the captain we're coming. We'll be there soon.
Probably got some room for her in the cargo bay. She can sleep.
Okay, so she is going to... You or Nils are going to need to make me a skill check as soon as I figure out which one. Because I don't have just a big table in front of me that I probably should have printed out. There's that one. There's that one. Perception. Okay. bargain, command, con, forgery, gambling, hide, search, persuasion, investigation, sneak. So there's no one to like just detect if somebody is.
I have search, investigate, gamble, and bargain, and sneak.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
So I don't know if that helps you.
Mildly, I'm just trying to figure out what they'll allow to. What's the word I want? To detect something from someone. There's forgeries, gambling, side, exhibition. Diagnosis, gambling, skill to cheat or detect others who are cheating. Okay. Okay. So you would just actually just need to make me a perception check straight up. Quit you a sec.
Oh, not good. 9.
Okay. In your walk back to the ship, she convinces you to pay for all of her needs aboard ship. So to pay for her fare and all the food in which she will partake of, and she has very extensive tastes. But she has persuaded you to also take her to, after you make your stops in between, which you guys were actually headed in the opposite direction. So when you kind of opened the ramp to board the ship, your crewmates who kind of have shown up to see this fare you have brought will also notice your fairly despondent face.
Yes, I imagine it is.
So the ramp opens, and you guys see your crewmate, Nils Tursu, arm in arm with a veiled and berobed woman, and she is talking excitedly, and sees Khajiit and says, "Oh my! I have never seen one of your kind before. What is it you call yourself?"
I just glare and flick my tail in annoyance.
My kitty, I bet we can find a toy for you to play with. Come on, let's find me a bunk.
Joe Nils,
Gaily skip aboard.
Yeah.
who's the spaceport skank?
Did I phrase again?
Have I learned her name yet? Has she
Also,
volunteered?
why is she on my ship?
Fucking, what's happening?
Have I gotten her name yet?
Nope.
Wow, she really took me, huh?
Yes, she did. Zach, what was your response?
Seriously, why is she on my ship?
What was her destination?
Killian Prime.
Killian Prime. She'd like to go to Killian Prime. She helped me win a lot of money. And, so she's a paying customer.
Fantastic. Well, shut her up, and we'll get going.
Okay.
Is that ship still here?
It is around the backside of the planet, but yes, it's still detectable.
Good enough for Dirk. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys, you guys walk up to the bridge of the YT 1300 to strap yourselves into the 4-seater cockpit, and you will find your guest already strapped into one spot that Nils usually happens to sit in. And you guys react how?
Whatever. At least she's a paying customer, so doesn't matter.
Well, I hope she can astrogate. That's all I know.
Well, she is in the bridge and not in the normal customer area.
I have a customer area?
Well,
you have
the Jarek table and
a recreation spot where Luke was doing. It's the Millennium Falcon, so it's.
Oh, I thought we had a lobby or something. Good.
More or less, but.
I should really get a water feature and some benches put in there. If we're going to start transporting people, I want to make it nice.
Okay, so Nils, what do you do then? She's sitting in your seat.
I'll just leave in a huff and go sit in the lounge area.
She'll give those who might look will see that she has a mild smirk upon her lips as he huffs away. Okay, you guys take off in your YT-1300.
Wait, you're just gonna let her sit where you normally sit? What's the matter with you?
I've been around her too much already.
Get rid of her.
Well, she did pay, sort of.
Fine.
Sorry. Once she paid, her life is sacrosanct. Can't just kick her out.
I'm not making her meals, though.
Fine. Hey, Nil, guess what you get to do?
Delegate?
Not so much, no.
Nice.
This is the hardest 5,000 credits I've ever earned.
He can't do it. He gets fur and everything. And he said he wouldn't do it. So it's up to you. Because I don't cook. Captain don't raise me.
I can reconstitute food in the oven thing. What are those called? That like what Ray has.
Yeah.
I can do that.
The bread.
The self-cooking, self-rising bread.
She can have 1/4 portion.
Yeah, that guy. Like that. Put some water on there, and then it puffs up. He's struggling today, huh? Come back to us.
And Nick's gone again.
Where are you? Hello? Gone forever.
So, folks, how about that local sports team?
I love it when the team that we watch wins at the game that they play.
Of course. How else would you like it? Internet problems.
Yeah.
Oh my, that is annoying.
We were just talking about sports ball.
Sports ball.
Yes. Wonderful sports ball.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot to check how Ohio State finished today. Anyway. The only football I still keep track of. The only football worth keeping track of. Ohio State football? Okay.
We're obligated.
Do what?
We're contractually obligated.
I still missed that.
We are contractually obligated.
We're not contractually obligated. I actually care, sort of. Tell you what, though, that Penn State game was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they pulled it out of their butt. Yeah, they were losing like almost the entire game, and then like the last 5 minutes, like literally the last 5 minutes of the game, they pull it out of their butt and beat them by 1 point.
That's pretty sweet.
Star Wars.
Yeah, sorry. I know. They start talking about legitimate sports. Well, I don't know what they're saying. Okay. So back to this lady having taken your spot. You guys were having a discussion on who was going to make her food, reconstitute the bread, and your ship takes off. The upper atmosphere, and the Imperial vessel does not hail you as you send your information on. It is not interested in you, and you need to make an astrogation check, actually.
Not it, I guess. I'm in the lobby. I can't astrogate, though.
Well, you can always walk up into the cockpit and unseated if no one else has the astrogation check.
What attribute is astrogation under?
Technical.
Knowledge. Oh, was it technical? I thought it was knowledge.
No, it's mechanical. Sorry. Astrogation.
Well, there you go. We're all wrong. Oh.
Okay, I can do it. I got it.
Is it mechanical?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Astrogation.
All right. Where's the stupid page?
That's not a skill of mine.
All right, page. Strength. Come on. Find it. Ground. Tactics. Mechanical skills. Astrogation. Isn't there like a whole table for astrogation in case you screw it up? I thought that was in this game.
No, there are no tables for screwing up astrogation. There's just death.
Oh, no, there is one. Mishap table.
You
119.
mess up your astrogation, you end up in the middle of a star and die.
That's not always the case. Using hyperdrives in the game. Astrogation mishap. Okay, 3 things happen when a character wants to travel to a different system. Pick the astrogation difficulty number. Make calculations for the jump to hyperspace. Determine the trip's duration. Pick the astrogation difficulty number. The astrogation difficulty can range from very easy to heroic. Most trips have a base difficulty of moderate, but difficulties can be much lower for easy trips, such as an easy difficult for a trip from Coruscant to Chandrila. Or much higher for particularly perilous routes. For example, the Kessel Run requires at least 5 very difficult astrogation rolls due to the presence of the Maw cluster, a conglomeration of black holes and gas clouds. Here are some astrogation modifiers. Characters can lower their astrogation difficulties, reduced to difficulty number by 1 for each extra hour added to the trip. Okay. Your ship has none of those things. Okie dokie. So, you guys take your first, if you don't want to drop her off anyway, which is kind of out of your way. You are in Finrai, and you guys are wanting to go to New Lupi and Kepler 22b. And the New Lupi jump is slightly more difficult than the Kepler jump would be because you have to go through the Grey Junk Field. Unless you guys want to go around. But you guys have the map, so discuss how you wish to do your thing. Going through would be faster but more difficult. Going around will take more time because you're going to have to make more jumps.
I don't know, Captain. What do you say?
Well, you do have a passenger. You should probably pay it safe.
Yeah, we're not in any big hurry anyway.
Yep. Everyone like that plan?
So what's the decision then?
Go around.
Long way.
Yeah.
Go around? Okay, fair enough. So going around, which path do you want to take? Well, Zach's got the map pulled up, and if you guys look at your screen, you should be able to see it.
Where are we again?
You are on Fenrir, so on the very, very right. Right there.
Go to Kepler.
So you could jump straight to Kepler, which would be an easier roll. Hang on, I need to find the base for each of these. That's what I thought. Okay, so it'll be yeah, we'll call it an easy astrogation check, but you'll have to make 2 because of the distance.
Okay.
Let's see. It'll take, we'll say, 4 hours. So if you want to add an hour, we can reduce the roll.
Yep. I'm thinking we take our time.
So how much time do you want to add? What was that?
What about pirates?
That's an entirely different matter.
Yeah, non-standard jump routes could have pirates.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So how long do you want to take?
I'm gonna take the extra hour.
You can take the extra hour. Okay, because you can keep adding hours. You know, each extra hour taken reduces the difficulty. So I said originally 4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if you take 5 hours, it'll reduce that difficulty. Okay. Who's making the astrogation check?
Well, it shouldn't be me.
I thought it was the captain one.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure. I forgot. Okay, so Zach, if you can, or sorry, Dirk, make the astrogation check.
All right. So I rolled a total of 14.
Okay, you easily make the check. So I do not have to roll on the astrogation mishap table, which exists, and it's kind of the partial fun of this. But now you guys have 5 hours of downtime, essentially, to sit on your ship. Do we want to fast forward, or do we want to role play through the ship?
Fast forward.
Okay.
I feed her a meal of reconstituted soy bread, whatever. And that's all I know how to make anyway, so.
Okay. All right, so you jump into the Kepler 22B system, and oh crap! I dropped my dice. And you'll notice an oceanic planet that has small islands dotting the surface. Each island is also connected by what appears to be a long line as you guys are coming into the atmosphere of the planet. And you guys also know that these lines are built highways that are reinforced in the superstructure so that they don't break down in storms and things like that. So each island is connected to every island, and it's just like this giant web, it looks like, surrounding kind of the planet of all these roadways. But you guys break into the atmosphere, and you are hailed by the customs authority. Asks you what your business is on the planet.
This is Captain Dirk Boyega, and we are just here to drop off some supplies as per contract.
And he will radio back and say, Captain Dirk Bodega, we are most thankful for your timely arrival. We have had quite the outbreak of a plague recently, and your supplies are most well needed. Please land presently on pad 22B in the city of Callus.
Whoa, a plague? Whoa, 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 whoa.
And he will give you the coordinates and send you on your way.
All right, we are on our way. We're going to make landing there as fast as we can. See you soon.
Much appreciated, and he'll cut his line.
Don't worry about the plane, you wuss. Just don't lick anybody. That goes double for you, Spice Face. I know you have problems with that.
It's talking to you, Khajiit.
I
That
just
one
shrug
right
my shoulders.
She mainly just licks herself.
Yeah.
Lick yourself all you want. Don't lick random people in the street. Again. Especially not in a plague zone. Come on. All right,
Okay,
I'm going to land the ship.
Okay, so you guys start to fly lower into the atmosphere, and crap, I didn't want to have to do this. Oh well. And your ship shudders suddenly.
Shit!
Oh, there's a sublight drive mishap table? Duly noted.
Isn't that what we're having right now?
No, actually. We were doing the thing I was hoping to avoid, but it makes sense. Turning pages. Okay. Alright. Oh, crap. Space travel and combat. What's a starship? Booking passage. Nav computers. Astrogation. Starship movement. Sublight speeds. Starship terrain difficulties. Starship maneuver failures. Starship combat. Okay. You check your sensors, you flip it up, and you see a modified YT-1300 freighter flying behind you, and it is attempting to shoot you down.
Oh, shit! What's this prick's problem?
Roses attack, Starship gunnery, 4-star.
Who is my gunner?
Weapons.
Did anyone take Starship gunnery?
I'm a merchant.
We're all screwed.
Dang it, we all suck. Fire control. Okay.
Have a good dex.
Well, I have a good dex, but I'm mainly good at sword fighting.
It's 8 space units away. That's medium range for the laser cannons.
We're all gonna die.
Scale is 5D.
Especially if the DM takes his sweet time.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
I said it's been a very, very long time since I've played this, so I have to. And I mean, I read through it. I've been reading through it for years, even trying to, because I've been wanting to play this for a really long time. But there's a lot involved. Okay, starships may make starship dodges to avoid enemy fire, just as vehicles can perform vehicle dodges. This is a reaction skill. Pilot making the starship dodge rolls. His piloting skill, capital Starship piloting, space transport or starfighter. You guys have a space transport depending upon the ship, and adds his ship's maneuverability with this new difficulty number to hit the ship. Okay. Okay, so you are getting shot at. He has not hit your ship yet, but it was enough to make it explode next to you and like flak and whatnot, even though it's a laser and they don't have flak, whatever, it's Star Wars.
We understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I never understood that either. I'm like, why is laser blast exploding in the air like flak? That doesn't make any sense. Okay.
They set up World War II, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I'm assuming that Dirk is piloting.
Yep.
So you have space transports as a skill? Awesome. Does anybody have straight space transports? This is the
I do.
the guy sitting in the back because some girl stole his seat is like, all right.
Well, if it's just a routine thing, it's not a big deal.
Well, okay. So actually, that's not an advanced skill, is it?
No, space transports.
Okay, so like anybody who has a deck skill can do space transport.
It's on my standard list. It's just there.
Starship Shields, Starship Transport.
It was one of my starting.
Right. We're all doomed. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so Zach, you need to make a roll because I am assuming you want to react to him shooting at you.
This is Dex, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I'm a Viking.
It's a...
I rolled a whopping 10.
Okay, that is not enough, and he will be able to hit your ship. Luckily, you ought to have shields, and I really need to be better about this. Where am I? There we go. Oh, too far. Okay, you guys should have a shield rating. Z95 hit under, TIE interceptor, space transports, and you 40. You don't have shields? That doesn't make sense.
We're boned.
Well, that's just a stock. I'll give you guys shields of 3D. Okay. A floor action, but only action in the entire round. Starship Shields or electronic energy dampers, blah, blah.
I think he cut out again.
I think he's gone, Jim.
Shields depends on how many are being covered. Okie dokie. Okay, so all right. Who do we have manning the shields? By the way, who's the normal co-pilot? Who's got the highest? What is it? A mechanical shields? Doesn't matter. I know this is like the most boring part of the game, but this is kind of like part of the reason why we play this like this.
Yeah.
So that people can see the game actually working or not working, as the case may be.
Are we going by straight up mechanical skill?
Where like a shield control will be. Starship Shields. Yeah, that's in mechanical, right?
I don't know. I only have piloting skills. And astrogation piloting skills.
Astrogation, beast riding. Yeah, it's a mechanical skill. Starship Shields.
Is there an on switch?
Is there an on switch?
I can do that much, I'm sure.
You can do it as a reaction, so it is a mechanical skill, and I'm not seeing it marked as an advanced skill.
So we can wing it.
Right, so whoever is sitting as the co-pilot can do a reaction and try to activate the shields.
That's the cat, right?
I need to look. She had to step back over to our daughter's bedroom. Our daughter woke up.
That's fine.
I'm looking. Her mechanics isn't that good.
Mine's good. I'll push what's-her-face out of the way. I'll unbuckle her seat and then plop her on the floor and take her spot.
All right. She gives you kind of a grumpy look.
Okay. Do I roll something?
Yes. Sorry, I was reading about initiative. So we'll roll initiative here in a sec, unless we want to sign off because it's about 10:30 my time. So, where was I? Shields. Okay. So you will get to roll 3D for shields, but here's the thing: is what it's saying with shields is you have to cover fire arcs. So you've got the 4 fire arcs, front, rear, left, right. Split up the shields to cover each fire arc, or you can do it to do, obviously any number of those, depending on your shield rating, of course. You have 3D, so you can't cover all of them at the same time. But you could cover left, right, and rear, or all rear, or right and all left. Get the idea. So using shields as a reaction, each starship has a number of dice, and that's that. The difficulty to deploy shields depends upon how many fire arcs are being covered. So, how many fire arcs?
Set them to rear right now.
Okay. So roll your mechanical.
11.
Okay. You will be able to activate your shields in enough time to of the blast. Starship damage. Starships suffer damage in combat just like the vehicles. Roll the attack or collision damage compared to the starship's hull code roll. The damage roll is lower than the hull code roll. The ship takes no damage. Equal to or higher than the hull code. The hull code roll. Jeez, find the result on the table. Starship damage chart. Okay. Alright, so what is shields doing? Starship weapons, lasers, ion cannons, all starships provide full cover, fire linked. Okay, so you've got them firing with their heavy blaster cannon. That is that. Let's see if I did this right. Okay, so with your shield activated, it actually will not straight through the shield. So you don't take any damage. Yay!
Well, I think it's good.
It is good. I'm just trying to read and see what's happening at the same time. Laser cannons and turbo lasers. Sure I'm doing it right, because like I said, it's been a very, very, very long time, and I don't remember how to do it anymore. I played way more D20 Star Wars than I ever did this. Because that's what was popular at the time, and everybody wanted to play that. Even though I liked this game. Right, okay. Each decides to sending all 2D to cover the backfire. Ship experience if any shots come back to 60 to defend against damage. Alright, makes sense. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's roll initiative. Which is when we're in combat. We've picked, I think it said, the person with the highest perception on either side, and they roll. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay. So, system explanation and aside. So, we have something that we should have been taking note of called the wild die in the system. So, whenever a character makes a sky roll, the player must choose one die of a different color to be the character's wild die. This is not an extra die, it's just a different color. Whenever the wild die comes up 2, 3, 4, or 5, just add it into the die total normally. When the wild die comes up as a 6, add it to the die roll, roll it again, and add the new number to the total 2. If the new roll is a 6, and it total roll and add the die again. So it's an exploding die. So, you know, like when we played, what is the Savage Rift, Savage Worlds, you know, when you roll a 6, you just keep going and adding and adding and adding. So that has this as well, which I totally forgot to mention when we started playing right off the bat. You also have character points of special kinds that are not called character points. Let me turn to it. Oh, you know, character points. Yeah, when you spend a character point, you get to roll 1 extra die when your character tries to do something. You can spend character points after you've tried a skill roll, but you must do so before the Game Master says whether your character succeeded at the task. Force points. You also have force points. Most people start out with 1. Some people have 2. When you spend a force point, that means your character is using all of his concentration to succeed, and whether he knows it or not, he is drawing upon the force. When you spend a force point, you get to roll double the number of dice you would normally roll in a round. You can only spend 1 force point per round, and you have to say so before you roll any dice. You can't spend any character points in the same round when you spend a force point. Using a force point in anger or fear calls upon the dark side. Characters who use the force for evil or for selfish goals risk going over to the dark side of the force. Earn dark side points for being a jerkwad in this game. Okay. Is there anything else that I forgot to cover right now? Probably loads. All right. So who has the highest perception?
I have 4D.
Mine's only 2D. Khajiit's is 4 plus 1.
That's her then.
Yeah. Let me make sure I'm getting this right, because once again, I'll screw this up all cattywampus. I'm always like way more prepared in my head until I actually like sit down and start doing crap, and then I'm like way disorganized. Combat is dangerous. Cover, armor, scale, medicines, medicine. Combat, ranged, melee, reaction. Okay, so have her roll, or you, Tim, since you're playing her until she gets back, your 4D plus 1.
Total is 16.
16 seems to be a pretty popular number. This game, initiative, determining so to study. Seriously, I wish this book had better organization. Closed initiative. Decide the character with the highest perception on each side rolls that attribute. Okay, that's what I thought. What did you say? 14, 16?
Yeah, it's a 16.
Okay, it is 9. Okay, so you guys are going first. You guys can determine how you want to do your actions. Who wants to do what, when?
Well, I guess I'm piloting.
All right.
Is this ship armed?
Yes, it is armed. You're not naked. You're just not like completely customized like the Millennium Falcon. But let me read off some stuff. Okay, so you have a YT-1300. So you've got a laser cannon. 2 laser cannons, actually. You have 1. It requires 1 crew. It's on a turret, so you can fire in any direction. You have 2D fire control, so that adds. You had 2D. Excuse me. Weapon skill roll. What on earth? Yeah, 2d to your roll when you're attacking, and it does 4d damage. Scanners and sensors of particular kinds. I'll have to send those on later. And like I said, you have a shield rating of 3d, roll rating of 4d, and that's the information I think you need. So this ship requires 1 pilot. You can have a co-pilot if you need to, 2 gunners, and it can hold 6 passengers in total.
Good to know.
Yeah. Okay, Starship Movement. You're not exactly being cautious, per se. Starships may increase their speed 1 level per round. Okay. So you guys were just at a normal cruising speed, so you don't have to. You're not doing anything that's horrendously difficult unless you guys decide you want to. Is the point? Because if you increase your speed, you can go faster. You can increase it 1 movement or 1 level per round is what it's saying. So you can go from cruising movement to high speed to all out in what is that? 2 move rounds. But things get more difficult, obviously, the faster you go. And there's here, I'll even show you. We'll see in the camera. There is a lot of stuff that's involved in just moving around. There's all this crap here for moving. That's what you do. And then Starship Combat is here. There's lots of stuff. Yay! So that's what I'm trying to dig through all the stuff while we play. Okay. So you guys are currently in front of a ship that's attacking you. You're getting attacked from behind from a modified YT-1300 freighter. You were going cruising. What do you decide to do?
I'm going to dodge a bunch while other people shoot at it.
Okay. So you're going to pilot while other people hop in the guns.
Well, I'm running my ass down to a gun.
Sounds good.
I'll get the other one, I guess.
Okay.
I will.
Okie dokie. Okay. So are you going to try to maneuver behind him, Nolan, or are you going to...
I'm going to try to win. So, whatever,
Okay.
That means
Right.
blowing them up at this point, right?
Right.
Or damaging them enough that they want to leave us alone and then we run away.
Right. But I mean, there's like maneuvers and stuff that you can do. Is my point.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Well, I'm assuming that you can move similar to vehicle combat. So you could do what's called the bootlegger turn, which is pretty much turning 180 degrees, but in a half circle. So it adds to the difficulty, but the vehicle, slams on its brakes and flips around. So if you want to try to do something like that, you can.
Sure, why
so
not?
that you're facing it instead.
Would that help us at all, actually?
Not necessarily. All your weapons are on turrets. Your 2 guns, so you don't necessarily have to be facing it, and your shields are already all facing to the rear.
So I'm just going to stay dodging.
Your shields around.
Keep them rear.
Okay. So you're just gonna keep flying the ship. You're gonna keep going cruising speed. You're gonna try to outrun. I'm gonna try to slow down.
No, I'll go the same. I'll speed up 1 click.
Okay.
And then see if I can hail the Imperials that were under attack.
Okay, fair enough.
Or have somebody else do that part.
So I'll just read the section. High-speed movement is pushing a starship for added speed. The ship moves at twice its space speed. The pilot must roll very easy, or moderate space. 4. When moving at high speed, the difficulty for difficult, very difficult, and heroic space increases 1 level. Difficult becomes very difficult to fly through. Very difficult space becomes heroic. Heroic space becomes heroic plus 10. And they're saying space because there's difficult terrains and stuff that come up eventually. So they're saying that depending on what that is, obviously it becomes more difficult from there. Okay. So that becomes the gunners get to attack. And let me make sure that I have your number of attacks correct, because it said it's been many years since I played this game last. Protection, dodging, cover, combat is dangerous, combat modifiers, melee combat, reactions. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to know how many actions everybody has. Combat is normally fought in 5-second rounds. Determine the difficulty number to hit the target. The attacking character rolls his target. If the roll is higher than the number. Alright. So I think you can do something and move normally in a normal combat round. Obviously, this is not a normal style combat round, so we'll just say you guys get 1 shot per turn. So whichever one of you want to go first. Starship weapons. So it's between Okra and Dirk, who decides they want to go first.
I'll go
ahead.
first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You at least have 1 weapon. Starships. All starships provide full cover. Fire linked. It's not fire linked. Ranges. Okay. So this is within a normal range, so you won't have any plus or minus to your weapon fire. Laser cannons are the standard weapons. Blah blah blah. That's placed. 2D shields. YT 1300. To the backfire. Can you laser cannon attacks the head of the freighter? Roll against the YT thunders combined. 6D hull code and shields. Okay. All right. So roll your. I believe it's mechanical for Starship weapons, yeah?
What if I don't have that skill?
You don't have anything in mechanical at all, period?
The only thing I have is space transports.
Well, you have mechanical is a broad thing, and then you have further specializations.
Okay. Well, I have 4D in mechanical.
So it's Starship Gunnery is 4D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just you have your broad skill. So if you want to think of it in terms of like D&D, it's like making a dex test where you add just your dex modifier. But a specialization would be like a skill, if you will, in Dungeons and Dragons, where you've got your like sleight of hand, which you would have further points in sleight of hand, and then you would add your dex modifier because it's a dex skill. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like that.
Okay. Well, that's good because my mech skill is 4D plus 2.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good roll. Okay, let's see. 17?
17?
18, 19. Okay, 19 total. I was looking at only the dice, so that's 19 total with the plus 2.
Okay, sounds good. 19. Okay, that's going to be. Oh, that's not a very good. There's 6. 9, 12. You said 19?
Yep.
Don't we have a targeting computer thingy?
There's fire control, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tim, you've got fire control, which I think was 2D for your gun. So add another 2d to that.
+7.
Okay, good call, Nolan. Because that actually would not have made it through the shield stuff otherwise. But you do, with your shot, barely managed to make it through his shields to hit his hull rating. Past his hull rating and all that stuff. Now I have to remember which part of it actually takes damage. Starships, shields, perceptions, damage. Weapons, it's ion code, we don't want ion code. Starship damage. Okay, he went by that starship damage chart. Damage is greater than or equal to hull code roll by. Okay, so means that the ship loses. Okay, so you notice on your sensors a weakening of the shields as you have shot at him. Okay. Okay, this is going to be interesting. All right, cool. That makes its next turn. Dirk, your shot.
Yep. 17.
17. Okay.
Is that with plus the 2D and all that?
Yes.
Okay, so that is... Ooh, that's a way better roll. It's 12. It's 16. Okay, yeah. You, however, will not make it through. And it deflects off of his shield. And then it is his turn. And he will shoot at you guys with his heavy blaster cannon again. Which is that. So that is... Let's see, 11, 13, 23, 23, 29. Yeah. Okay. 29. So somebody needs to roll me a shields plus the hull. So I think I said your hull was 40 and your shields were 3D. So someone needs to roll me 70 and try to beat 29.
That's
and that would be the pilot.
Oh, that's me. Oh.
Or whoever. No, that was what's her face? Khajiit, right?
Yeah.
Who was doing the shields last time? No, that was Dirk did the shields last time. Huh?
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
So what am I rolling?
Well, you're in the gunner spot now. I would say Khajiit took your spot. So she needs to roll mechanical. If she has shields, that would be great. Tim, are you actually there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, well, your screen was looking kind of funny on my end. Okay, so roll her mechanical, and if she has Starship Shields, that would be fantastic. If not, then she just rolls... or no, she's not even rolling mechanical. Is she? No, crap. See, now I'm all confused. I got myself confused.
I thought she was rolling perception.
Starship Shields is the skill used to operate shields on all starfighters. Difficulty of the roll is determined by how many fire arcs the character is trying to raise shields over. Okay, so the shields were already raised. I don't think you have to do it every turn. Energy shields. You guys did it as a reaction. Shields are normally activated only in combat and must cover specific fire arcs to be effective in combat. Difficulty to deploy shields. If the ship takes any hits from that side in combat, the ship gets to add those shield dice to its hull code to resist damage. That you have to do it every time. But we'll have her make the roll for the hull and stuff anyway. So that's 70 and you guys have to be 29 on that. So Tim, roll 70 and let me know if you beat 29.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do the first 5.
Okay.
Which stat roll is this?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. So let's see. 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus 2 more. 22.
22 total?
Yeah.
Okay. So that 22, 29. That is 5 difference, yeah. Okay, so you guys are lightly damaged. Starships can be highly damaged any number of times, or lightly damaged any number of times. Each time a ship is lightly damaged, roll 1d to see which system is damaged. So let's see what happens to you guys. Ugh. Roll a 1. Ship loses 1d from its maneuverability. If the ship's maneuverability has already been reduced to 0, it suffers 1 move. So your stock maneuverability is at... Where am I? I'm not seeing it. Where is it? Oh, somebody just make a note of that somewhere. We'll figure it out later. We'll say 2D anyway. Alright, so your maneuverability is now at 1D, which was originally at 2. Okay, so lightly damaged. That makes it back to your guys' turn.
Are there some authorities on this planet?
Do what?
Are there some authorities on this planet, or like Imperials or something?
Yes. Every round is 5 seconds. So you have hailed them in the previous one, and they finally get back to you. And the my train of thought. You guys haven't named your ship, so they'll say, "Incoming freighter. What is it you require?"
I'm like, just tell them we're under attack.
We will send assistance as soon as possible. It may take some time to get there. Please hang in.
Okay. Which direction would they be coming from? Would I know?
Yeah, you're aimed at the spaceport, and you.
I'm just gonna gun it and try and outrun this guy.
Okay. All right. So you kick your speed up a notch, then.
High as it can go.
Okay. Luckily, you're in the atmosphere, so there's no space junk floating around for you to accidentally run into or any of that stuff. All right. So you're going in faster, and that makes the gunners.
You want first up again?
What?
Go ahead and take first up again.
All right. Okay, so that was mechanical, right?
Yes.
Is everyone rolling that exploding die?
Yeah.
Ho, 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 ho. That was a good roll.
Remember exploding die?
Yes. Okay, so 4D plus 2, right? Mechanic?
Yeah. Yes. So if you have 4D for your mechanical, then yes, you add another 2D. So
Okay.
6D.
Oh, 6D? Okay, because the first 4 I rolled, 3 of them came up 6.
Okay. Well, you're only supposed to have one of a different color, so you only get to roll one over and over again. So pick one of the 6s. We'll say that is your exploding die, and roll it until it doesn't get a 6. So take note of whatever you currently have, and then add it
I actually
again.
do have a different color. I'll use it.
Oh, well, there you go.
This one's pink.
Okay. So there you go. Keep that one handy, and use that as your event die, or whatever it is they call it.
Okay, should I finish rolling the other 2 dice first?
Well, you only re-roll the one die, the wild die. That's it.
You only rolled 4.
Well, I only rolled 4. I think my total die roll is 6, right?
Yeah, you can finish re-rolling the other two and
Okay,
then roll
so-
the exploding.
Yeah, so I'll finish rolling the other two. Okay, so hang on, I gotta write this down because the first 4 total was 18, 19, 21. Plus 2 more dice is another 6. And 2, so that's 8. And then exploding die was a 5. That was a dang good roll.
That was a good roll.
Okay, so 29, 34.
It's a 34.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to beat that. Well, maybe it's 17. It's 21. Oh, maybe no. 17, 21. What'd you get again?
34.
Oh, he got 33. And that actually takes his shields out. His controls have been ionized. So his shields have been blown. You see them collapse and disappear. And that makes it Dirk's turn.
All right, I rolled a 13 to hit.
Oh, wait, his controls.
Oh, there was a 6 there. Okay, hold on.
Shields and overpower control and damage for the rest of that round.
18 to hit, to be precise.
All right, sorry, what was that?
I rolled an 18 total. I didn't notice I had a 6 until I...
Okay. That is fine. 18 total. That'll be his whole. 15. Okay, he seems to be having some trouble with what he's got going on, and you will also. He seemed where he was dodging back and forth at first. He seems to kind of be stuck in this position and kind of flying forward a bit. Ship is suffering from his ship. And he doesn't fire any of his weapons when you think he ought to be, which makes it Nolan's turn again.
Okay, still running.
Okay. All right.
I have determined a name for our ship.
I'll have you.
The Infinite Sparrow.
The Infinite Sparrow. Well, what does everyone think of that?
Different words.
Sure, why not? That works for me.
I like it.
Yes. It contains words. That's all I needed.
Okay, the YT-1300 Infinite Sparrow. All right, sounds good. Okay, cool. So this ship behind you isn't looking super hot at the moment. Blue lightning is kind of bouncing periodically throughout the bits of the ship, and it looks like it's not moving anywhere. I mean, it's still chasing you, and it isn't falling down, but it looks like it isn't shifting from its position. Nolan has continues to do his evasive maneuvers, and it's to the both of you to shoot still.
Oh, we get to shoot again?
Yes.
Okay, I'll roll again.
His controls failed temporarily, so...
Now remember, we're not trying to kill this guy. Just get him off our ass.
No promises.
Hey, it happens.
I just squeeze the trigger and aim.
Just don't try to kill him.
Alright, let's see. That wasn't a good roll. I gotta total this up. Each 10, 16.
16.
Yeah, it was not very good roll.
Okie dokie.
4 of them are pretty low dice.
Let's see. That's 12, 13. Okay. That one will impact on the ship's armor, but it doesn't look like it does any other damage.
Oh, that's it for mine.
All right, Dirk, your shot.
Yeah, we're trying to actively disable him. I don't want to kill the fella. I want to.
Well, he's mildly disabled at the moment.
Yeah, I just want to leave him for the Imperials to pick up. All right.
Okay.
3 dice 6. 15.
Okie dokie. Okay. Once again, your shot will impact on his armor, but do no damage. And it brings it back to his turn, and he will once again fire at you, but it looks like a different weapon this time. I think I've been doing the damage rating wrong. No, I've been doing it right. Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Somebody roll me your shields and hull.
That's me. How much is it again?
It was 60.
$18.
18.
Dead
Okie dokie. What was that?
Dead average.
Okie dokie. Fire separately. Okay, that does not make it through your shields, so you guys are good to go. You have started to pull quite a bit ahead of him at this point, and he'll, with a ship that has been damaged, it's not heavily damaged, but it still has a little bit of smoke trailing. He peels off and takes off in another direction. And in the distance, and on your sensors, you see a couple of blips start headed in your direction. They're not Imperial
Imperial somethings. Imperial chickens. Nick is gone. Guys?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, where did I leave off? Man, this is really irritating tonight.
You were starting to describe the ship and then the blips that were coming in.
Okay. So I don't really remember where I was. So I said central pod with 2 wings that swoop kind of behind you. They zip past your ship and begin to chase the trail of the one that attacked you. You guys make it to your city of Callus and are able to land. And your For serious, that's annoying. It like reset for no reason. Anyway, the female, and we're transporting, kind of leans her head forward between all of you and says, "Well, that was interesting, wasn't it?"
I guess.
It was exciting. You're more of a man than I expected.
I know. You expected quite a bit, I'm sure.
She kind of chuckles in a high-pitched tinkling laugh and walks out of the cockpit, kind of rubs the head of Khajiit a little as she walks out.
The cat is not amused.
Well, the cat has done nothing. And we will close that up for tonight, because it's 11:16 for me, which means it's 12:16 for a lot of you. And we'll continue next month with our second half of the adventure. Now that you have made it to the planet, we'll see what happens. Planet full of plague. Anyway, so what do you guys think so far of the D6 system?
It's very simple.
Combat.
What I remember.
Nolan, what were you saying?
Oh, combat seems a little hard to get my head wrapped around, but
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. I mean, I read up. Combat is the one thing that you have to like read up a crap load in any system you're playing in.
well,
There's always,
too. I mean,
yeah, and that's the thing. Is like I said, it's been 15, 20 years since the last time I played this game, and I was doing it from the one-sided advantage where I only have to know so much to do my own thing, not like run everybody else's combat. I've never ever run this game, so this is breaking ground for me. But I'm going to definitely have to keep reading up on it and make sure that I'm doing it right. I was hoping to avoid the vehicle combat this time, but wanted to have some kind of combat. But no, I like the D6 system. I always thought it was really simple to get. The characters are really easy to make, and it's a fun, streamlined system. I think in some ways it may not have aged super well, but I think it still holds up to a lot of modern games today. There's stuff that people still play that act a lot like this. They are mildly different because nobody wants to, borrow off of Western games, so they'll make their own game. But I think some of them reflect it fairly well because it's a good solid game. I mean, they did a lot of other things with this as well. I think Ghostbusters ran slightly different. It's been a while since I've looked at that book, but D6 is good, solid system, and like I said, you can still get it for those who are interested. But we will sign off tonight. And playing before the release of Episode 8, which I'm excited to go see how people fail in that movie. Well, Episode 7 wasn't horrid. I think it's right smack dab in the middle between the prequels and the originals. There's some things that I do like, and my wife and I have been discussing things that I don't like about it. She's really interested to see the character progression, whereas I just, I don't really care as much because it's not as interesting. But, okay, that's not true. There's some interesting ins and outs, but yeah. I'll be excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to play the game some more. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and as always, happy gaming. See you later.